Hello there. Today we're going to be talking about the channel and some bits. First though, let's just start out with hit the nail on the head. There's more to this video than what I'm about to tell you. I'm going to do character builds, some tips, things like that, right? But first, let's just start out with the elephant in the room. Most of you guys only watch the first 3 minutes of a video. One particular guy thought the return to Oblivion was about returning to making mods for Oblivion. He didn't watch the whole video. Now, he's not the only one, right? Everybody does it. And I need to get the retention time of the videos up. So I'm not putting all my eggs at the beginning of the video anymore. I'm spreading it throughout the whole video. So you have to watch the whole thing all the way through now in order to actually understand what's being said and what's going to happen. And then I make a point of spreading out the good news throughout videos as well for the same reason. Because I need to get the retention time up, and if I don't, the channel's not going to work, and I'm not going to do anything mod-wise because I'm going to think nobody's interested. Now this goes along with the text era where people want to get all the information in one single line, or Twitter era, you know, where conversations are short, like, my name's Bob, good, bye, that kind of short. So you go, how do I do this in Helgen? 2 pages of instructions right there. Can't you just tell me? No, because it's 2 pages of instructions right there. Says, well, how do I do this in this quest? You've read the 2 pages of instructions right there. I just need a quick tip. Read the 2 pages of instructions right there. You see the point, you see? Because they don't want to read the 2 pages of instructions, they'll type out 2 pages of questions. And that's the era we're living in. I know it, you know it. Let's not pretend otherwise. So moving on, right? Since the content's going to be throughout the video, let's move to the 2-minute mark and start talking about something more interesting, right? Now, I played the Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. I brought the Creation Kit pack, you know, with all the mods on it. There are some issues in there, which I think I've covered in other videos. But, well, you might just see one now. It's the Stealthy Archer one. But anyways, I actually did one of the, I think it's the Dwemer Horse one. Now that was an epic quest, that was. You don't necessarily need to do the whole quest to actually get the thing. There's only one area you need to go in. And that's the, well actually, you need to go in the area where you gather the wheat. That's the autumn area. But, that's it, the autumn area. I can't remember where the head is. Anyway, the point is, it's an epic quest. I was sitting there for quite amount of time. It's really well done. Although, to be honest, it's not the kind of quests I would make. Because this is like a one-shot quest. You go in a dungeon, like you charge around, you get a reward, you leave. It's that kind of thing. But it's a big dungeon, and it's a really interesting dungeon. So it works on multiple levels. And quite frankly, hats off to the creator, because he did a good job on that one. Now, the kind of quests I'd make a bit more epic in scale. I suppose in a way, it's a bit like I am George Lucas to say, to his Ridley Scott. You know, he tends to make things about characters on ships full of aliens, where I tend to make things about empires. So there's a bit of a difference, but yeah, the thing is as well, it does raise the point that if you want to learn how to make quest mods, that's the way to go, because you can make a single quest for a single item, any item you like. It doesn't even have to be anything fancy, but you can always swap it out later. If you make make a copy of an item in game, and then you make the item unique, you can later on swap it for somebody else's unique model, and then it'd appear in everybody that's done the quest. So you could take shortcuts early on, and then as your skills improve, swap the items out. So yeah, it's a really good way to learn how to make mods. Now we're at the 4-minute mark. So let's carry on, shall we? Yeah, I've had some comments about the Stealthy Archer video. People asking me if I want to do more. Now I should explain something about my approach to these videos. First of all, I know players tend to like put points in everything. I know that. Right, I call it a jack of all trades. So you go up to a dragon, you're a barbarian, you're with an axe, bang. He says you go up to something that needs magic, you're a mage. You go to hunting, you're a stealthy archer. You get to legendary edition because you've used skills in all of them. I know those are jack of all trades characters. See, because I know that once you hit level 40, you pretty much maxed out a unique specific character. It's very hard to add points to anything else without making it into something else after level 40. You might even get to level 50, but you won't get beyond that with a unique character. If you want to get that final achievement, you have to make a jack of all trades character in Skyrim. I don't play that way, so I've never got that perk or that achievement. But the thing is, if you want to play a specific character and learn how the game plays when you're playing a specific character, for instance a necromancer, where you're just conjuring undead and things like that, then you would never have an axe, you would never have a longsword, you would never use destruction magic, you'd never use a bow. How would you go through the main campaign in Skyrim without any of those things? It changes the game dramatically. If you were to go to, say, be a barbarian, you'd never use magic. You'd be stuck on potions. If you've got survival mode turned on, then that is an epic game right there, right? Because survival mode doubles down on what you'd need to do as a pure barbarian anyway. It is a bit like a purist way of playing a barbarian. I would argue that you'd never be able to do survival mode as a mage and feel the benefits. But with a barbarian, a stealthy archer, you would definitely feel the benefits. Now if we come to the stealthy archer video in question, it says now the stealthy archer video itself is a basic stealthy archer. I am not telling you how to make it special beyond that. I'm just telling you how to make a pure special stealthy archer. Nothing else. There are certain armors you could get, there are certain weapons you could get, certain bows you could get, which would change your stealthy archer into something unique. That's up to you. If I was to make a stealthy archer and give you a blueprint, everybody's stealthy archer would be exactly the same. That is defeating the object of a specialist character. Specialist character is something you have in mind up here. I give you the template for a stealthy archer. You then go and modify that template to suit your style of play. So you get to the point where you're like, where you want to make him, say, a bit of a heavy hitter, right? So you might give him heavy armor so he can fight in battles and be up front with his sword, right? Now, my stealthy archer, the one I recommend, comes with a one-handed weapon skill. And the reason why it comes with a one-handed weapon skill is because of the double flurry with the knives. But that still means that one-handed weapon skill is quite useful in combat. So adding a heavy weapon skill or heavy armor skill to make him into a warrior as well, that's not much of a leap. You know, not when you've already got a high, single-handed weapon skill. You'll be able to literally run around with your one-handed weapons and whatever. Depending on how close to the enemy you're going to get, the situation you find yourself in, you could go light, you could go heavy. Then we've got like things like smithing. I mean, that's a natural thing for any warrior. It's a smithing side to expand into. Alchemy or magic, alchemy or restoration, that's a choice you make. Do you go alchemy, do you go restoration? But bear in mind, all of them will increase your points and level you up faster, allow you to go higher. So you take a few of these ones that don't distract from your character too much in order to level up higher and get more perks. And basically improves the gameplay. It makes every stealthy archer a little bit different. For instance, if your stealthy archer did pickpocketing, you'd end up with 100 points, or 50 points in survival mode, extra carry weight, just by getting that up to level 50 and taking the right perks, or 50 points gets taking the right perks. So that would help a lot when you're carrying heavy armor. So if you went down the the pickpocketing route, that would pretty much be the carry weight for the heavy armor right there. It would nullify the heavy armor instantly overnight. So you take those two, you see what I'm talking about. Although I would argue that heavy armor tends to defeat the object of stealthy archers, but on the other hand, some of it looks dead cool. So on the cool factor, sometimes just going heavy is coolness. The reason is simply that it looks cool. Anyhow, we're now up to nearly 10 minutes, and the subject keeps changing, doesn't it? Anyway, what I'm doing on the channel right now is I'm trying to do the release times in a different day, you know, different time, should I say, just to see what happens. Stuff actually I think was either 50, it was either, I can't remember what it was. I do remember putting some numbers in the description for the time I released it, so I can see what the initial impact was. And I was doing 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 11 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I wasn't sure if that was successful or not, because everybody releases at 12. So, but I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'll keep moving the videos about to see when the best times are. But most of my audience live in the US, so it'll be US time zones I'll be looking at mostly for when the videos get released. Also, I think, you know, that the thumbnails, it's okay having a good thumbnail, but if that YouTube doesn't show it to anybody, then it's no point, is it? YouTube got to recommend it for it to get anywhere, and YouTube aren't recommending my videos because you guys, the retention time, that affects whether YouTube actually show my video or not. So if it's got good retention time and people have clicked on it, it's more likely to show my video. So when you go to 3 minutes and then cut off, it sabotages the whole video. So yeah, retention times, you know, release times, these are all things I need to look at to try and get my videos up here being recommended by YouTube more often. I could actually do external links and stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm not active in a lot of places online. I think my experiences online are, most people are trolls, and I'd rather just not deal with that. I mean, they get on a forum and they behave like children, and I'm not a child. I just can't be arsed with it. So I don't tend to go that external route thing. I'm more or less a YouTuber, if you know what I mean. So anyway, but if you have watched this far, then you're one of the people that are supporting the channel, and you have my thanks. And at some point in the future, when I start getting popular, it's at the end of the video you will start seeing promotional codes for bonuses and stuff like that, and giveaways just for you guys, because you guys are the ones that will be the ones that I consider to be my real supporters, and you are the guys I'd want to get, you know, any bonus material that comes out, including maybe future mods that I just don't tell anybody about until the end of the video. But keep that under your hat, because if they don't watch this far, they don't deserve them, do they? See you in the next one.